Like Puff, he's used to having people do what he wants, and when they don't, then he's used to seeing them buried under the bus afterwards. You don't just walk away from Puff.
Puff Daddy, you, because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got talks is because you did a deal, you fed.
They can control LeBron James.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
You see, it ain't no name I won't name. I don't care who you are. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all puppies. I never killed nobody. That means I can say whatever I want.
Wendy Williams and Kanye West are some of the only celebrities who have stood up against Diddy and have been warning us about him for years now. I'm curious to know what they knew about Diddy before he was arrested. So let's get into it. We're at a time right now where a lot of celebrities are staying silent when it comes to Diddy, but those who have been outspoken for years are being even more outspoken now because they can safely say, I told you so. And while I don't think we should ever say, I told you so to crimes like what Diddy have been accused of, but I do think that people like Wendy Williams can get away with it. Even though she did know something, I don't think she ever knew how bad it was. She did an interview with the Daily Mail, which I'd love to see because after that documentary that came out earlier this year, I was worried. Wendy said, what's really weird is that I've been told by so many people. Wendy, you called it, she told the outlet, including some people from my family who have said the same. Here's a throwback clip of Wendy talking a little bit about Diddy.
Like Puff, he's used to having people do what he wants, and when they don't, then he's used to seeing them buried under the bus afterwards. Like, think about it. When Puff is done with you, he drops you like Black Rob. Who was his rapper person, and now he's in jail. Drops you hard like Aubrey O'Day. I mean, think about it. You don't just walk away from Puff.
I wish Wendy was around now because we need her reactions, but some people feel like Wendy was put away because of Diddy. This person commented, P. Diddy ended her career. Another person writes, she was speaking facts. Finally, this person added, I knew someone did something to her. She knew too much. Another comment reads, I wish the Wendy Williams show was up and running right now. I would love to hear her input on the whole situation with Diddy. Another person added, how much power did he have? This person commented, he silenced her, which he did in fact silence her because he did have her fired from a radio station at one point, tried to have her blacklisted, so Diddy has never really liked Wendy. After seeing the Cassie footage, Wendy was quoted saying that this was horrific. She said, you know how I feel about that? It's about time. To see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled, it was just horrific. But you have to think, how many more times? How many more people? How many more women? I question how many are dead. You know what's wild? You could be walking down the street or headed to the grocery store and then bam, you're in an accident. Suddenly you're dealing with injuries, bills, and an insurance company that's doing everything in its power to give you the bare minimum. It's gotta feel so frustrating. Insurance companies always seem to pull the same tricks, offering you the lowest settlement possible. But here's where Morgan & Morgan steps in and changes the game. Morgan & Morgan isn't just another law firm. They are America's largest injury law firm with 1,000 attorneys and offices in each state ready to fight for you. You don't have to deal with those insurance companies alone anymore because they've got your back. Take this for example. This year, they got a client in Florida at $12 million, way more than what the insurance company was offering. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle. They will continue to fight until you get what you deserve. And here's the kicker. The whole process is as easy as ordering takeout. You could submit everything from your phone. No need for paperwork marathons or endless appointments. And with Morgan & Morgan, you only pay if you win. So if you've been injured or you know somebody, don't just sit there. You can head over to forthepeople.com/Sloan, or you can check out the link in my description below. It's fast, it's easy, and it's free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan is the team that fights for you because they're for the people. Thank you for sponsoring this video and enjoy. Wendy's feelings for Diddy have been laid bare since she accused the billionaire of single-handedly ruining her career by getting her fired from the popular radio show back in 1998. It's because Wendy was making claims about Diddy's sexual orientation, which we now know, saying that half of the 120 victims that came forward are men. She was onto something, and he didn't want the world to know this, so he tried to get rid of her.
There was a music mogul who sent his all-girl group to beat my ass in front of the radio station. Fact. I finished my shift, wound up my headphones, put my bag in the crook of my arm, and see everybody lined up at the window looking down on the sidewalk. I'm wrapping up my headphones and I'm going downstairs. My new boyfriend at the time, the bad Kevin, he was picking me up. I'm walking in the elevator with my intern at the time, Skeletor, but look, I'm like, why is everybody looking down at the sidewalk? I mean, noses were pressed to the glass. And I get downstairs and find this girl group jump out of a gypsy cab to come after me, to kick my ass. And I'm like, for what? You know what I said was true. You all are broken. You were living in the projects.
Now look at where they are now. I mean, Wendy's not necessarily doing that great, but she's better off than Diddy is, facing a minimum of 15 years in prison, which doesn't seem like that long, especially with more than 100 victims coming forward, one in which that was 9 years old at the time. In her 2004 book, The Wendy Williams Experience, she wrote about a certain level of contempt for Diddy because he tried to ruin her. She wrote, "He put me through hell. I'll never forget it, but I don't hate him," which... okay, interesting. One of Diddy's bodyguards reiterated the story that he did in fact try to get her fired from Hot 97, saying that Diddy said if they didn't get rid of her before he got back from New York, that he was not going to get any music from any of his friends or the record label executives to the radio station to play. So essentially they were going to boycott the station. The bodyguard said, "We were out in LA for about 3 days before we landed in New York, and Wendy was in the radio station in Philly. It was over for her. She was fired." So these two have quite the history, and there are moments that I've seen online where Diddy was actually with Wendy on her show, and I wonder how it really felt there. If it was intense, if Wendy kind of laughed it off, if she kind of felt something, or if he was there trying to manipulate it all so that he looked decent.
Did you guys see this interview between Diddy and Wendy Williams that aired 7 years ago? Look at how she reacts when he tells her that he met her son backstage.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Who I met backstage was...
He did?
He's great young man.
Oh, thank you. You represent a lot to a lot of people in general. I mean,
People think that Diddy said this to intimidate her because, I mean, we all know Wendy knew a lot about what was going on in Hollywood.
Now, Wendy's not the only person who's been outspoken against Diddy. Kanye West has made some comments himself. In October 2022, Kanye appeared on the Drink Champs podcast where he blasted Diddy.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these all you fake hard fuck you. Hold on. All you fake hard fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my coat card. So y'all can shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You shut the fuck up about, you shut the fuck up about Michael. Right. I'm Michael now. Right. Every Michael you can think of, but mostly Godfather Michael now. No.
Now, back when Kanye did this interview, not a lot of people paid attention to it because he seems just, a little bit bonkers. But in hindsight, he doesn't seem crazy at all. After speaking with Candace Owens, she was left with the impression of, quote, "There's something about Kanye West. He has a way with words, gets himself into a lot of trouble, and then when you revisit his words, you start to realize that he was making a lot of sense when you thought he sounded completely crazy. And currently we are in that stage where a lot of what Kanye said years ago is aging like fine wine." I just want you guys to hear that note and comment below. Do you think Kanye is onto something? Candace also discussed how Diddy being a Fed allows him to escape legal consequences to his actions, which he's not a Fed anymore. Then she recalled how Kanye had listed out a number of celebrities and athletes who were controlled, including basketballer LeBron James. Kanye said, "They can't control me. They can control Shaq, Charles Barkley. They could control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce, but they cannot control him," which he might actually be right there.
They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. Jesus is king. God loved me. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puppies, y'all Lil Boozy, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, but that means I can say whatever I want.
Candace Owens is an interesting person, but she has a good question, especially for LeBron James, because everyone is speaking out about Diddy, but he's not. And even the people who don't typically speak out, they have a comment, but he's someone who typically loves to give a take. He loves to put out a statement. So it's interesting to see that he's remaining quiet.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Ooh, last words, huh? LeBron James and Diddy have reportedly been friends for a while. Diddy was booked on September 16th for a... You guys know all these federal charges. But I want to take us back to Kanye West because he may have called this, and it seems like he's been alluding to this for some time. In one of his more recent songs, Carnival, in which he collaborated with Ty Dolla $ign, he placed Diddy in the same category as disgraced celebrities like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. Again, this is before Diddy was arrested. He raps, "Now I'm Ye Kelly, bitch. Now I'm Bill Cosby, bitch. Now I'm Puff Daddy Rich. That's me too rich." The cryptic reference to Diddy, once known as Puff Daddy, has led to speculation whether Kanye was subtly hinting to Diddy's alleged involvement in criminal activity, kind of like, Harvey Weinstein was involved.
So you know how Diddy had like this 15-foot bed at his house? This one right here, 15-foot bed. You know what it reminds me of? And I feel like this artist has been trying to warn us about all this forever, specifically about this man and about the PDF file industry. But you know what this reminds me of? Remember the Kanye West famous music video? This offensive, disturbing video of all these celebrities, from Donald Trump to Caitlyn Jenner to Kim Kardashian to Amber Rose to Ray J to Bill Cosby to Taylor Swift, all laying in this bed. Does anyone else remember this music video? Ooh, looks a lot like this. Looks a lot like that.
Now, Kanye and Diddy's relationship has been rocky in recent years. A resurfaced text exchange between the two music moguls dating back 2 years shows an explosive argument over Kanye's controversial White Lives Matter t-shirt. Oh God. According to the text, Diddy offered to meet in person to hash out their differences. He said, "As soon as I land, we'll meet face to face. Send me an address," in which Kanye replied, "F you." Kanye went on to say, "I didn't like our convo. I'm selling these teas. Nobody gets in between me and my money." Kanye then made an odd reference to his grandfather, saying, "This is my grandfather texting you now. Never call me with no BT like that again unless you're ready to greenlight me." Why would he reference his grandfather? Like, is he being possessed by his grandfather? I don't get it. Comment below. He wrote, "Cause nobody who got on that T is me. Out of respect for everything you've meant to me, I'll be quiet as Virgil. But now I know how I've hurt people. I love it with threats. Come do something illegal to me now, please." Interesting, he says, "Come do something illegal to me now." Did he try to calm Kanye by saying, "I'm just trying to talk to you as a black man, and I'm talking to you because this is hurting our people. Stop." But Kanye did not budge, saying, "Anything you text, I will post. I love you, and you guys are breaking my heart. I accept your apology in advance." In a final exchange, Diddy reiterated his desire to handle the matter directly, saying, "Let's stop playing these internet games and don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love." Interesting. You'll be fine. Maybe he knows about Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. He knows what Diddy did to them. The tense back and forth highlights the long-standing friction between the two, adding yet another layer of intrigue to their complex relationship. But lately, it seems like Kanye has some other issues he needs to deal with, like paying a security guard who has not been paid yet. I hate when people do not pay their employees. Kanye is being sued by a man named Jonathan Monroe. No connection to Maryland. I'm just kidding. I don't know that, but I'm assuming no. He claims Kanye hired him as a full-time security guard back in August 2021 and promised him $30 an hour to protect his Malibu home. According to the lawsuit, Jonathan claims that he worked 36 to 50 hours a week until he was fired in October without being paid any of his wages. He claims he was only fired because he was complaining about not being paid, so then they solve the problem by just firing him. It's been 3 years since Kanye has fired him, and he has yet to see a single dime for the hours he logged. As it's been reported, Kanye recently sold a Malibu property for $21 million after trying to turn it into a bomb shelter. Then he got bored with the project and bailed on it.
Have you ever found yourself wondering what it's like to work for a celebrity only to be left unpaid and jobless? That's the reality for Jonathan Monroe, a former security guard for none other than Kanye West.
It's insane to me that he has the ability to go and buy this home, destroy it, and then just go and sell it for way less. He's got way too much money. But I want to hear what you guys think of this in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.